What's going on, guys? This is a very instant reaction to a UFC 308. Some serious heartbreak on this card, and as much as it pains me to admit, the undefeated fighters they went even this time, or they went undefeated this time. The undefeated fighters stayed undefeated. Sucks to happen, but we're gonna go through it all. Starting with this, and this was a bad one. Rinat Fakhretdinov versus Carlos Leal. Carlos Leal got robbed. Brutal robbery. He was whooping up Rinat every round. Rinat was shooting for dear life, and they gave Fakhretdinov the third round. One judge did, despite Carlos Leal beating his ass for that entire round, almost stunning him on multiple occasions and taking him down himself. But terrible, terrible robbery. You can maybe give Rinat the first round, maybe, but just a terrible, terrible robbery. Fucking Carlos Leal probably on roids, let's be real, but it sucks that he got his fucking win stolen from him by Rinat. He completely lost that fight. Not a doubt in my mind. If you think you won that fight, you don't know anything about fighting and you don't know how to score that fight and you don't know how to score fights at all. Brutal, brutal robbery. Sucks for Carlos Leal. Fucking Rinat Fakhretdinov. Book him versus Jeff Neal. I want to see him get knocked the fuck out. Next up, Ismail Nerdiev versus Bruno Silva. Really just ended up being Bruno Silva just didn't do anything. He was throwing a jab and a sloppy two the entire fight, but seems the Bruno Silva downfall is in fact real. Ismail Nerdiev just did more the entire fight. Through kicks, combinations, he was shooting for takedowns. Bruno Silva just doesn't have it anymore. That's really all I can say. Not much happened this fight, kind of boring, but man, Silva just lost his chin. Next up, Farid Basharat versus Victor Hugo. Low-key, Victor Hugo started off well. I mean, what, he was landing good shots. I mean, he was doing pretty all right for himself. He was Imanari rolling a lot, had trying to go for a lot of submissions. I mean, he came in 10 pounds heavier than Farid, and honestly, he still kind of got worked. Farid Basharat, honestly, his striking looked probably the best I've ever seen it look. Like honestly, like his straight shots looked pretty good. He was moving off and countering on with good right hands at times, and I was like, huh, I'm pretty impressed. So good win from Farid Basharat. Give him a good opponent, but Victor Hugo is a weight bully. Go up to featherweight, dude. You can make 145, it seems. So just fucking stay at featherweight, you fucking loser. Weight bully, fucking bitch. Kennedy and Nzechukwu versus Chris Barnett. This was the start of the fan favorites just losing. This is the start of it. What did I get right? I got this right. I'm pretty sure I got this. I got that right. I got this wrong, and I got this right. Uh, Chris Barnett literally. They showed him jumping during his introduction, and he injured himself there. And then he threw a spinning wheel kick, and then that's what caused like the real damage to his leg. And then Kenny and Nzechukwu, just by being more athletic and bigger, just kind of put it on him. Victory by TKO. Really sucks for Chris Barnett considering he's been through so much. I mean, the guy's lost his he's lost his wife, his house, like injury after injury. He's been through so much, and then when he finally gets to come back, they put him against Kennedy and Nzechukwu, and then he fucking injures himself. It just sucks to see it happen to him, man, because he's such a good dude, but fuck, man, it is what it is. Hey, buddy, it is what it is. We'll get to it in a second. Abu Magomedov versus Bruno Ferreira. They're both fucking terrible. So it started off like Abu won the first round just by doing more. Bruno Ferreira wasn't doing much. The second round, Bruno Ferreira dropped him bad and hurt him. And in the third round, Bruno Ferreira just forgot how to sprawl and just forgot how to defend takedowns. Bruno Ferreira, for being a judo guy and having submissions and like knowing how to grapple, and apparently I think he's a BJJ black belt or something. They're all in Brazil. They all have BJJ black belts in Brazil. He could not for the life of him stop Abu from getting mount or back control. Literally the takedown before the submission, Abu literally just like ran into him, gassed as all hell, and then just like immediately just got it, just stepped into mount. Just like not even Bruno Ferreira just hitting him to the back of the head, not even trying to stop him from getting mount. Just yeah, I'm gonna try and stop. I'm gonna hit you instead of him trying to maintain a good position. He got arm triangled and that was it. Fucking, we know Abu's never gonna be a champ because where's my phone at? Oh, it's on my bed. We know he's never gonna be a champ because well, we've seen him fight a future champ and he got fucking whooped. Sucks for Abu. I don't know if you heard that. If you did, fuck you. But sucks for Abu. Sucks for Bruno. I mean, good for Abu. Be a good prospect. You know what? If he wants to fight someone good next, give him. I don't know him versus. Does Joe Pyfer have a fight? Do him versus Joe Pyfer. There you go. Abu Magomedov versus Joe Pyfer. There you fucking go. Next up, Mateusz Rebecki versus Mektabek Oralbai. I got this one right. They almost robbed my boy. Now let's break it down one by one. First off, the first round, it's a Rebecki round. So Oralbai lands more in the first, but Rebecki lands the much more impactful shots, and he he break he breaks Oralbai's orbital, as one might say. He breaks the orbital bone, and so that wins him the round because he was landing like the big like pop shots, like make a big noise, and he broke his orbital. Second round, Oral buys wins it. I think he lands the better shots. He lands more. I think he gets him down. Just landing cleaner. Rebecki's really swinging on his shots. And then in the third, Rebecki drops him bad. He lands like a big wing hook that rocks him, and then he lands a big lead left hook that puts Oralbai down, and then he's just beating up on him. And then for the last and he's beating up on him for like 3 minutes straight. And then for like the last 2 minutes, Oralbai is like occasionally gets on top and then occasionally lands a couple shots, and then it's eventually back to the feet, and he he starts landing like a couple good straight shots, like a jab and a right hand, but nothing that really puts Rebecki down. And they tried to say that Oralbai won that round. People trying to argue rounds one and two, but it's like, how can you give him the first round if he he got his orbital broken? People can and people I know. Oh, in the second round, Rebecki got a cut on his eyebrow, but that was shown to be from a flash of heads. The shot that broke Oralbai's orbital was shown to be from a very clear overhand left. It was very clearly shown to be from an overhand left. And for some reason, people are just. I saw someone say, "Oh no, that was caused by a clash of heads." No, it wasn't, dude. It was caused by a fucking overhand. They showed the shot that landed right on the fucking orbital. But it's whatever. Got this underdog pick right. Made me happy. Made me really happy. Next up, Jeff Neal versus Rafael dos Anjos. I feel bad for both of these guys. Now I feel bad for Rafael dos Anjos because he like blew out his knee or something. Sucks for him. He's old. That's probably the end of his career. It sucks for Jeff Neal because Jeff Neal was whooping that ass. He was landing crisp shots. He dropped him. He dropped him, hurt him twice, and the shot. And he loses his opportunity to win. He just like it sucks for him, man. He loses his opportunity to get a bonus because he fucked himself. That's why. He got fucking. He dropped Rafael dos Anjos the first time. Dos Anjos like collapsed on his knee, and that's what started it. And then when he stepped back at that second time, it just blew out. So Jeff Neal just great win. I mean, he was whooping ass anyways. Honestly, give him Rinat Fakhretdinov. Why? Because I think that Rinat Fakhretdinov is shit, and I want to see Jeff Neal just have a good win over someone who's kind of undefeated. You know, I think Jeff Neal having a win over someone who's 23-1, that'd be pretty cool. Also, avenge Carlos Leal. Next up, Ibo Aslan versus Rafael Sequeira. I mean, Rafael Sequeira like come in 11-0 thinking, this guy might be pretty good. Never mind, he's not. It starts out like kind of like a normal pace, and then Sequeira goes for like I think a leg kick or like a knee up the middle or a teep, and Aslan lands a check left hook that rocks Sequeira, and then Aslan just like beats the shit out of him for the next like minute, and the ref stops it because Sequeira isn't doing anything. It's literally just a minute of Ibo Aslan throwing massive shots. Each one lands. Sorry, reading that just made me upset. Each one lands, and then Sequeira just covers up against the fence, and the ref stops it. Next up, Shara Magomedov versus Armin Petrosian. This one had me worried. Shara was low-key getting kind of exposed by fucking Armin Petrosian. So, first round starts out, Armin Petrosian's just landing more. I think he hurts him early in the first, and he's just chopping away at the legs the entire time. He's pressuring Shara. He's fucking throwing good kicks, jabs. He's throwing straight shots good. He wins the first round. Second round, Shara kind of comes back. He's landing the harder shots. I think he was clearly in the driver's seat, landing good body kicks, throwing a lot of he was going for big like pullback. I don't know if they pull. I think he was going for like big like right hand counters on Armin Petrosian. And at the end of the second round, he throws a spinning back fist that Armin Petrosian blocks. And with the momentum of him spinning back from it getting blocked, he throws another spinning back fist on the other side that puts Armin Petrosian out bad. Sharmagomedov round 2 walk-off KO. Sick KO. Sick KO. Good win from Shara. And I'm trying to get through this because I want to talk about this next one because people are delusional about this one too. I think there was only one real robbery, and it was bad. It was a bad robbery. But I think that was the only robbery on the card. Lerone Murphy versus Dan Yeager. Shit. Yawn. So it starts out, Lerone Murphy's doing his thing for about the entire first round. He gets taken down by Ige with a really good takedown attempt. Like a really good takedown attempt, and Ige gets him down. But he gets back up eventually. It's on the feet, like straight shots, picking at Ige. Uh, late in the first, he throws a bit. Lerone Murphy steps in with like a big like a jab, and I think he was standing southpaw, so there's a jab left hook. Ige rolls under the left hook and lands his own left and drops Murphy bad. Murphy recovers, survives the round. And second round, Murphy does his thing, kind of just picking apart, throwing kicks, jab, twos, straight shots, just doing his thing. Third round, third round comes and he starts off on bottom for about 3 minutes until he eventually gets back up and he gets Danny Ige down. And when he gets Danny Ige down, Danny Ige's getting back up, but he's like landing like he's like throwing ground and pound like the entire time, like throwing big shots. And then in like the last, I think, and he's doing that for like the next minute and 30 seconds. And then for the last like 30 seconds, and by the way, Danny Ige when he was on top the entire time wasn't doing anything. He didn't do anything. Lerone Murphy eventually was able to get a triangle that got him back to his feet and got him back on top. He he at one point he's like locking in like a Darce choke that Ige like spins out of. But at the last 30 seconds, Danny Ige Lerone Murphy just starts letting his hands go, fucking throwing combinations, big elbows, all of it. Like lands like a flying knee, just throwing the kitchen sink at Danny Ige. Why are the people in my hall so fucking loud? But I think that secured him the round, honestly. I think that secured him rounds 2 and 3 very clearly. People call it a robbery, and I'm like, yeah, whatever. People are saying should have been a draw, or it should have been a split decision, or not a unanimous. I'm like, that's not how it fucking works. It's a close fight. Every judge thought it was probably really close to, but every judge probably thought the same thing you're thinking, that Lerone Murphy just barely edged it out. So it's not like it should have been a split decision or unanimous. Doesn't make sense. No, it does make sense. Every fucking judge just agreed that this guy won the fight. But they didn't. It's not like they're saying he clearly won. It's just they're saying that he won the second and third rounds. So good one from Lerone Murphy. Fuck it. Do him versus Yair Rodriguez. Book it now. Next up, Magman Ankalaev versus Alexander Rakic. Really weird fight. I expected a lot better from Rakic. He did really good in the first. I thought he took the first round pretty clear. And then in rounds 2 and 3, it's just Ankalaev throwing. It's just Rakic just backing up and throwing like leg kicks and Ankalaev just waiting to like land anything. Really, all not much didn't happen. It was just rounds 2 and 3, Ankalaev clear, and weird, but very clear Ankalaev win. And kind of disappointed in Rakic. I expected a lot better of him because I really think he is very fucking good, but not what you like to see out there. It's fun. So my Whittaker. Moral of the story is, if you're Robert Whittaker, you're gonna break your jaw. Here's what happened, man. It's just Hamzat does his thing. First 20 seconds, shoots in on a takedown, gets Whittaker down. Whittaker's doing his thing defensively, being a good defensive wrestler. Uh, Eventually they end up like in a position where Chimaev has like one hook in on the side of the fence, and like he elbows Whittaker twice to the head. I think one lands on the jaw. That might have started it. And then he gets like a neck crank, like a fulcrum, where it's like arm on the jaw, and Whittaker immediately taps. Like he's like Like, he's tapping hard and fast. And I'm like, what the fuck? Why is he tapping so quick? Whittaker would never, a normal Whittaker would never tap this quick. What happened? And he points to his jaw, and he broke his jaw. He dislocated or broke his jaw. I don't feel like that proves anything. Whittaker broke his jaw. I don't feel like that proves fucking anything. I still think Drekus beats him. I think Drekus beats Hamza. Sorry. Is what it is, but fucking whatever, I guess. Sure. Next up. Oh, this one hurt. This one hurt real fucking bad. So it starts out, Ilia Topuria. So round one starts out, and it's going kind of how I'd expect. You know, Ilia Topuria, he shoots in the first round, he gets a takedown, but they're both throwing, and I thought Max Holloway was landing the better shots. I thought he landed at a higher rate. He was landing pretty clean too. He was getting clipped, but he was eating them well. Round two, Ilia Topuria has a better round. He's landing more. He's landing pretty hard, pretty good combinations. But Max Holloway, same, he's doing pretty good too. I give that round to Topuria, but he's landing shots, and Max Holloway is taking them well. And then comes the third round, where Max Holloway gets clipped by a straight right, and he starts backing up against the fence. He's wild. He's hurt. I'm thinking, oh, Topuria's got mean power. Oh, but okay, Holloway seems to be good. And then Holloway, throws a combination against the fence. Holloway's like blocking it, and they circle out. They're back in the center. Topuria backs him up against the cage quickly. They get in like a clinch type of position. Holloway starts to push off, and as he does, Topuria lands a perfect flush right on the jaw left hook that whips Holloway's head around, drops Holloway bad, and that's it. Topuria becomes the first person to knock out Holloway, and he knocks him out bad. It's not a fucking. It's not like a oh what early stoppage. No, Holloway was fucking got his head whipped around, fucking head bounced off the canvas as he fell down. He was still trying to he's still moving a bit, but it's like the type of move. It's like the type of movement where it's like a fighter's just like kind of just it's just like moving. He's just moving. He's not defending himself. He's just moving. Ilia Topuria retains the belt. I honestly think we are witnessing the birth of the greatest fighter of all time. I mean, what he displayed in the fight is kind of fucking incredible. I mean, he was hurting Holloway with leg kicks. Really impressive, really good. Learned from Volk. He has great striking with boxing. He has a good chin, great chin. Can eat some big shots. He's great chin. He has insane power. He has elite wrestling. The guy has great submission over great grapplers, so he's a great grappler. What can this guy not do? What can't this guy do? I mean, think about it. What can't this guy do? If he can knock out Max Holloway, who can't he knock out? I mean, think about it. This guy couldn't. I mean, Jesus. I remember him saying like, "Oh, like he'd not like." I remember seeing people say he'd knock out Bilal, and I was thinking, no, no way. This guy's not even gonna knock out Holloway. He could knock out Bilal. He could knock out Islam. He could knock out O'Malley. He could knock out Lopez. Like This guy, it's it's unreal the power that he has and the skill he possesses. I genuinely think this is the birth of the greatest fighter of all time. This is the I think people are finally starting to realize and come around that man, this guy, he's got it all. I don't think there is a single featherweight that I would pick to be. I think he beats Yair, he would beat Ortega, he'd beat Lerone Murphy, he'd beat Movzar, he'd beat Lopez, he'd beat Allen. Who else? Fucking Ige, he'd knock out Ige. I mean, he's already beat Emmett, he's already beat Mitchell. Like, what can this guy do? He'd knock out Aljo. Like, this guy, there's no one in the division that can beat him. There is no one in his division that can beat him. Like, what, you guys expect me to pick fucking Sean? If Sean Woodson can get to the belt, I might pick Sean Woodson just for being so tall. But I still think Topuria would sleep him. Because, I mean, Sean Woodson has gotten caught before. Dude, I don't know. This guy, he's a different breed. This is a different. When I think of the perfect fighter, when I think of the most unstoppable fighter possible, I now think Ilia Topuria is that fighter. He's got crazy skill and timing, one shot knockout power, incredible wrestling and grappling. And man, his resume is stat. I remember people saying, Ilia Topuria is not even going to be in the. He's not even in the top five featherweight right now. I'm like, dude, he beat Volk. He's at number 5. I'd put him just below. He beat Volk and Holloway. Dude, I'd say 2 more good wins. He's the greatest featherweight of all time. You don't just you don't just do that to Volk and Holloway. You don't do that to those guys. So that's about it, man. Heartbreaking, heartbreaking to watch, but incredible performances all around. This gets a bonus. This does not get a bonus. This, I think this is getting fight of the night, and I think they're gonna give Shara a bonus, and then I think they're gonna give Topuria a bonus. But all in all, great fucking fights. Can't even be mad. Uh, I'll see y'all later. What's next week? Moreno Albazi. Oh fucking boy. I pray to God Mamir Albazi just does not win. I pray he doesn't win. But you know, it is what it is, brother. But I'll see y'all later and goodbye.